So you're staring at my wife's birthday present. Today is her birthday, and I'm going to take these pallets and make something really cool that she found on Pinterest. It's a place to hang the cast iron pieces that we are restoring. I have another video on that. So basically I'm going to take pallet wood and use it on the side of our pantry in our kitchen and make a real nice decorative hanger with black iron pipe. Some of you may have seen these, but this is what I'm going to be doing, is this. So I'm going to get my my reciprocating saw, also known as a sawzall. I will get in between the boards, cut the nails off, push the nail heads out. I'm going to cut these to 24-inch lengths and then stack them one on top of another horizontally on the pantry. I'll stain them and put the black iron pipe. I'll show all that as we go along. It'll be really cool when we get done. Alright, so after getting all of the pallets cut off with the sawzall reciprocating saw, I took a hammer and a punch and knocked out the heads of the nails where they were assembled on the pallets, and I threw them in a little can. I don't want them getting on the ground. They're not very long. I don't think they would be any harm, but I don't want them getting out in the yard. Run over them with a lawnmower. Throw them in with the rest of my scrap metal. So that's some of the pallet frames, and this is the stack of lumber. And what I'm doing now to keep that rustic look, what we're going to do is just go over it really good with a wire brush. I don't want to clean off this patina, if you will. Some of these boards look old and a little weathered. Some of them look brand new. So what we're going to do is arrange them in a pattern. But all I want to do is knock the dirt off and probably use a water-based stain to stain them once I cut them to length. So I did have two of the newer boards that have boot prints, shoe prints on them. I think that would just look kind of weird on the wall once this is done. So these I will go ahead and scrub with some soap and water, lay them out in the sun to dry. Okay, so now we're going to be staining, and we chose a stain called fruit wood because at the Lowe's it looked a little bit more like our actual stain. And at the top you can see some of it's starting to dry already. Now I'm applying this with a chipping brush simply because this is very rough wood, and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on a brush, so I just bought this cheap chipping brush, and it gets plenty of stain on there. And of course, we line the floor with newspaper, and I've got this painter's edging thing or shield or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the name for it is, but it kind of helps out get it up there so I don't get too much stain on the wall. Alright, so we're hanging the bars now, and this little torpedo level is magnetic, and so I've got that on there to get it level. I use a Sharpie, and I go straight on in the hole, make a circle, and then I'll move the bar down, and I'll drill a small pilot hole right in the middle of that circle that's just made. That way you ensure your screws are going in center. So one of the things people do is they use these S-type hooks that come off of a tie down, but it doesn't quite fit over this 1/2-inch pipe. I mean, you could force it on. So one of the things we're doing, we wanted to use copper. It just gives a better warm feel to it. And we're making our hooks into a C shape. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm cutting this a little bit over 6 inches, about 6 1/4 inches long. And I'm chucking it up in a drill while it's straight. And I take a file and I make this kind of smooth and round. I take the burr off of it. And we like the copper. The copper gives this just a better warm feel to it, and we like that. So this is the copper wire, and I've got it about 6 1/4, almost 6 1/2 inches. Made it real straight. This is bare ground wire. You get this in the electrical department at Lowe's, Home Depot, or your local hardware store. And what I'm doing is taking this file and have my wife turn it on. I'll hold the copper with one hand and then file it with the other. And it gets kind of warm, so sometimes it's best maybe to hold it with a rag as it builds up heat as you file it down and make the edges nice and smooth. So this is our final product. We've got all the bars on. We have 4, go all the way to the top. We've got more cast iron we're going to put on here. We're actually in the process of restoring some cast iron, doing the electrolysis type of method, and I'll put a link in the description down below. So we've got some cornbread sticks pans here, another one down there that hasn't been done. Neither one of those pans right here have been redone, but we just use plain drywall screws to put all this in here. I did countersink these. I did drill pilot holes. I cannot stress how important it is that you drill pilot holes first. This is the face of our cabinet, and these go into the face, and I drilled a small pilot hole so that the screw would not split that face. And I drilled a small pilot hole for each one of these flanges. Another thing we did was we cleaned these when we got them from the hardware store. We cleaned them with either Clorox wipes or Lysol wipes, something like that, to get all the machine oil off of them. That industrial machine oil is pretty nasty, so we cleaned that off, and then we wiped these down with coconut oil because we don't want them to rust, because we removed all of the oil before, and we wanted to put a rust inhibitor on there, which is, we used coconut oil, and it worked out pretty good. So this is the finished product. This is for my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, baby. I hope you love it. This project took me from, I want to say, about 9 o'clock in the morning till now, which is, what time is it? Midnight. So you could do this in a couple of days. I just chose to do it all in one day.
That included a trip to Lowe.
Oh yeah, that did include a hour-and-a-half trip to Lowe's. So that's it, and you can do this too. It's not very difficult.